Hey guys, Joe Sticks, Kentucky Swagger. Today I'm coming to you inside of my building that I've been working on. It's coming along slowly, guys. I got the insulation up, I've got the wiring in. I'm going to be closing in some of these walls, the inside walls here, and creating a new wall over here for my music area. But today I'm going to be checking out the Sierra Nevada's wheat. It's a Bavarian-Style wheat ale, and I'm going to check it out, see what we got going on. It is the Kellerweis. The yeast that I used from that was very active, guys. I only got a 6-pack of yeast sediment, and I used some yeast nutrient inside of the wort along with it, and it was very active. The krausen was like 6 inches thick. I couldn't believe how active that yeast was. So today we're going to go ahead and check it out. It's been in a bottle, I think, for around 2 weeks or so. Not 100% sure. I think it's been about 2 weeks. The Kellerweis wheat ales, the Bavarian-Style wheat ale, I guess cellar made or something like that, guys. The yeast is suspended inside of the ale, and it does give it a cloudy look. Now, I haven't had one of these yet. I'm not sure exactly what this looks like, but I can tell by looking in the bottle itself that it is cloudy. So let's go ahead and pop this open, see what we got going on with it. Oh man, smells good right off the top. Getting that coriander. It looks like it may be thick, guys. Decent little head there, kind of rocky. Very cloudy, guys. She looks very dirty. Getting the aromas. Hold on, drop my phone. Getting the aromas of the coriander and the citrus peel. I'm not sure if there was lemon peel in that or not, because I'm getting some lemony notes. I'm also getting some banana notes, some very heavy banana notes in this. So I'm assuming that's the hold on, my cat's trying to get into stuff. Go on, kitty, go on. So I'm assuming that's the yeast coming into play there, guys. Carbonation, I really can't tell. I showed it to you just a second ago. I really can't tell, but there is definitely some carbonation in it. Whoop. The head pretty much dissipated pretty quickly. I'm almost scared of this thing, guys. I'm not going to front. It's pretty thick. I haven't seen a beer this cloudy in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and give us a taste and see what we got going on. Actually, that's quite nice. It's a little thick on the palate. I'm assuming from all the yeast in there, but hey, that's more vitamin B, guys. I'm going to give this another taste. The coriander, the citrus, very heavy on a banana flavor. And that would be from the yeast. That is definitely from the yeast. Actually, it's quite tasty. The banana flavor is not so overpowering that it takes away from the rest of the beer. But I will tell you, there's probably a couple things that I would do differently with this. I'm going to save the yeast from some of these, and I'm going to reuse them and try to do something different later in the future. And I'll invite you guys along with that as well. But I would definitely use a different type of hop when I'm brewing the next one. I think a Hallertau or a Tettnang hop would probably be a lot better of a match for this, other than that Cascade that I use, because I think it adds a little too much citrus in there. Yeah, there's a little too much citrus on the back of the tongue with this. It's not a bad beer, guys, and it's kind of almost a medium bodied. It's on the fine line of being refreshing and almost not so much refreshing. Yep, there's nothing really wrong with that beer whatsoever. Would I recommend doing that? Yeah, I mean, guys, take yeast from other beers, make your own beer with that yeast. I mean, it's a fun little project to try out, you know. I mean, what could go wrong? You make beer. Now, there could be some issues that happen along the way, but most of these big breweries, they do save their yeast, guys. They take their yeast, they reuse it for batches. They're always harvesting their yeast and reusing them. And I pretty much just did the same thing because it's an unfiltered beer. The yeast is in the bottom of the glass. You swirl it around, throw it in a mason jar, and just save it until you brew your beer, and then you dump it in after you wash it, if you feel it needs to be washed. And today, we're going to be doing the Muntons IPA bitters. Again, I want to revisit this, guys. I want to try it out again after it has been sitting and aging for a while. Because sometimes flavor profiles change after things sit and age for a while. Oh yeah, something else that I would do differently with this. I would probably put this inside of a secondary fermenter. I didn't do that with this one. I let it sit in a fermenter for about a week and 2 or 3 days, and then I bottled it. I would probably next time sit this inside of a secondary fermenter for about a week and a half, just to clear it up a little bit more, because I think that's where a lot of that heavy banana flavor is coming from, is inside of that yeast, and there's a possibility you might be able to clear it up a little bit better with a secondary fermentation. It's not bad, but it's sometimes some of the flavors are just a little too much, like the citrus, and it has a very heavy banana flavor. So we'll go ahead and pop the top on this here Muntons IPA Connoisseurs Bitters. Woo, smells good. Carbonation, light to medium. More lighter, on the lighter side. At least I would think that's lighter side. Head didn't last very long. It was a khaki head. Getting some of that malt. You get malt right off the top, just like I said in the previous videos. It smells more bockish than anything, guys. Now we're going to taste this. Hopefully the flavor profile has changed considerably. Yeah, it has actually. The maltiness is mellowed out quite a bit. Get more of the bitter now on the back of the tongue. This Muntons Connoisseurs IPA bitters, guys, is probably one of those that you're going to have to let and sit for a while in the bottle, let it condition before you actually take it and drink it. I mean, you can drink it within a week, no problem. But if you want more of that bitter and less of the maltiness, you need to let it mellow out a little bit. And you can see I can get a head back on here just by shaking it up just a little bit. Giving it a swirl, and it brings that head back. It's a light khaki head there, guys. Don't get me wrong, it's still bockish. It's still got that sweet note to it, but it's not as forward as it was when I previously tried it. It definitely has mellowed out considerably. So now I'm two-fisted today, guys. You know what? I think I'm going to try something. Now let's see what we got. A cloudy IPA. Let's see what she smells like. Oh man, that took out a lot of that maltiness smell. Getting some of that citrus with that malt and that coriander. Oh, it's helped this out quite considerably. Oh yeah, that citrus from that cuts right through that maltiness in there. Very light on the banana flavor now. The banana flavors were kind of mellowed out quite a bit too. So it actually adds a beautiful note to this beer. Actually, that is quite enjoyable right there. And there's nothing wrong, guys. Mix your beers. If you make beers, take them, mix them, try them out, because you know that could be something you can make in the future. Take some notes from a Bavarian-Style wheat ale and add it to an IPA. Why not? No harm, no foul. I mean, if it ain't good, it ain't good. But I haven't really had one that wasn't really good, guys. So, you know, I mean, I've been brewing for well over a year now, and I have not had one that wasn't good. The only thing that I really had that didn't turn out was a home-brewed inmate wine, and it smelled like ass. The yeast definitely got stressed out with that inmate wine, guys, and that was probably a fault of my own. But other than that, everything else turned out perfectly fine. Even the Muntons, I was down in it previously, but now it's enjoyable. It's more enjoyable now. So I kind of retract what I said as far as the Muntons. I wasn't too fond of it. If you wait and give it some extra time to age, then it's a lot better. And I'm going to have to say it's more enjoyable. And adding this right here to it, I've got 3 gallons. Actually, I got less than 3 gallons of this. It was around 3 gallons of that. And I'll add it to this Muntons. Give it some extra flavor. Get that citrus in there and that banana to cut right through that sweetness. So this tells me something that I would do differently with the Muntons. With the Muntons, I would definitely take and add a citrus hop around the last 15 minutes of the boil. I would take a Cascade, Centennial, or something of that nature and add it to the last 15 minutes of the boil just to give it some extra oomph and a little bit extra aroma. That is exactly what I would do differently. Also, what I would do differently is instead of using sugar as it requests, I would use a dry malt extract as the extra sugar to get it sweetened up, you know, for the wort. I would use 2 pounds of that rather than 2 pounds of sugar. That should actually give it a little extra body. It's a crisp beer, quite refreshing. And adding that to it just made it even better. And the carbonation built up quite considerably too after adding the wheat ale in there. So guys, this was a semi-success. It's a bit more cloudier than I would have liked, but there's nothing wrong with it. The flavors are decent, a little strong on the banana and the citrus, but other than that, the flavors are really decent on this, guys. 4% alcohol that came out to. This came out to 4.3% alcohol. And after a second look at this here, it came out really decent as well. Really can't argue with it. Muntons, that was actually a really good product, even though my first look was kind of shoddy and kind of biased because I'm not fond of box. As when you're wanting an IPA, I don't think IPAs should be very sweet. And when I first tried it, it was very sweet up front. Now that I tried after it's been sitting and conditioning a while longer, as I stated before, that sweetness has mellowed out considerably. The maltiness has mellowed out considerably. Still slightly bockish. Great bitters on the back of the tongue. Definitely do dry malt extract instead of using sugar when you do kits like these, and you will probably come out with a little bit better of a product. I would also say you might want to try to add some extra hops to it. Always try your try your beer first. It's cheap enough that you can make beer, and then go from there, from your palate. Decide what you want to add to it later if you decide to make a new one out of the same kit. There's not a damn thing wrong with brewing kits, guys. There's nothing wrong with doing all grain. I do both. It is still considered brewing. It does not matter. The only difference is one allows you to get done faster if you are stressed for time, and the other one takes more time. Is the product different at end game? Probably. Is it minute? Probably. I really haven't seen much difference in them. There is a little bit difference in some of the bodies of the all grains compared to the kits that have syrups and dry malt extracts. There is a little difference in the bodies of the way they are as far as mouthfeel, etc. But that is all preference and so objective, it doesn't matter. Just brew what you want to brew. Try it out. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half to do an extract brew, and it takes about 2 hours or longer to do an all grain brew. My bull in the bag, or I'm sorry, the brew in the bag brews that I do take about 2 hours. It takes me about an hour and a half to brew it. I think, no, it's about 3 hours. It takes about 3 hours. It takes an hour to mash it, and an hour to boil, and then it takes close to an hour to cool off. So, and you're talking about an extract kit that only takes you 45 minutes to an hour, guys. That's a big difference in time. So, you know, it's pretty much all just preference, how much time you got to do it. Just brew and enjoy it. I'm going to get off here because of this train. Anyways, guys, y'all don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all have a good one. Keep brewing.